Hello. Good afternoon, Michelle. Abigail Arevalo, how are you doing? Fernando Marinero, hello. Can you hear me? Please answer the chat if you can hear me. Saso, how are you doing, Saso? Saso is just connecting. Aaron, very good, Aaron. How are you? I think we're fine. Okay, Fernando Marinero, you can hear me very good. This is a good time for practicing English. Hi, Saso. Saso, can you hear me? Can you reply at least through the chat? Is there another English class? Who's having another English class? We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait from 2 to 3 minutes. Hi, Michelle. How are you doing? Dania. Hi, Dania.
Hi, mister.
How are you, Dania?
Fine.
Nice.
Hello, mister.
Hello, Kevin. How are you, Kevin?
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Nice. Wow, Dania, I'm really glad to hear from you.
Let me get back to you on that.
I'm really glad to hear from you, Kevin. Do you have lunch already, Kevin?
Huh?
Do you have lunch already?
No.
No yet. No lunch.
Yes.
Yes. What do you have for lunch? What do you eat?
Spaghetti.
Oh, very good. Nice. I like them. Hi, Matal.
Hi, I'm
How
Seth.
are you? How are you doing?
Fine.
Fine. And your sister? How's your sister?
Hey,
She's eating again. Hmm?
no,
No, not today. No.
fine.
And Matal, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Any problem? No. No. Cool. Cool. We're gonna wait, okay, for the other students.
What?
We are 18 students. Jimena, hi Jimena. Say hi, Jimena, through the chat.
Hi.
Oh, hi. How are you, Jimena? Fabiola. We're missing some students. Ferrufino. I don't see Ferrufino. I don't see Alonso, Navas. They're not here. Oh, Diego Ferrufino is there. Abigail Arevalo, no escucho nada ahorita. Tiene que encender el micrófono, Abigail. Ok, Lucas, hi Lucas, hi Diego de León, César
mister.
Coca, hi. Diego Ferrufino, how are you? Michelle Franco is there, very good. Michelle Franco. Soto. Pablo Cerritos, very good. Kevin Paz. Oh, we're missing Nati, right? Nati's not here yet. Okay, Valentina Navas, I see you there, very good. Okay, Nati is already there. Hi, Nati.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Nati? How are you doing?
Fine.
Fine? Great. Gerardo, Jose Gerardo is already there. How are you,
What
Jose?
are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine.
I am waiting for you guys.
Yo quería que me mi idea. 5 minutos. Dura 40 minutos.
Luna is already there. Okay, how many students are in this grade? 24, 25? How many? 22, 29. Okay, thank you, Sasso. 23. Okay, very good. Thank you, Coca. Thank you, Sasso. Thank you, Diego. Well, I think that we are about to start, so please, my recommendation is that if you can note important or relevant information, do it. And I am going to start with the class right now. In this moment, I am going to present the PPT, and I am going to be the only one who is going to be able to talk. Okay. Okay. Right now, I am the only one who's going to be talking. We are going to start with our EFL class, and I am going to show you what we are going to discuss. As I told you past Friday, the previous class, we will talk about passive voice in 2 sections. The first one, we already did it, and this is going to be the second section. And let's see. Hold on. Give me a minute, please. Hold on. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay, this is the same PPT, but I have more information for you. Listen, we talk about passive voice, and we are going to be talking about passive voice again. And this is what we saw in the previous class. We talk about active voice, then we talk about this example. I told you that active voice are sentences that we write in our spelling list. Oh my God, that they are normal. Hold on. That they are normal. Then I told you. Hold on. Just let me fix this. Then I told you about the when we focus on passive voice. Then I gave you some examples of passive voice. I gave you more examples of passive voice, and I gave you more examples, and now this is our class. Now listen, we are going to be talking about passive voice, and we are going to develop the class in two things. Let me see. Okay. Okay, here we are. I restarted the presentation because I didn't want to see that that thing that we have there. So this is going to be our passive voice class. Today is Monday, the 27th, 2020, EFL subject. And remember that I am Leonel, right? You can call me Mr. Leo as you want. Listen, we are going to have two things, okay? We're going to discuss about two terms. And the first one is going to be about feedback related to the previous class. I am going to give you some recommendations. And the second point that we're going to be discussing is about passive voice for processes. Look, I told you, and we saw this, I told you about the processes of creating passive voice sentences. I told you that we have an active sentence. This is an active sentence. We're not talking about passive voice yet. And I told you how to transform from active to passive. Okay, this is feedback. This is based on the class that we had last Friday. Now listen, I told you that the process will be the following. We already saw that. Okay, soccer in active voice is my complement, but in passive voice is my subject. Pay attention. In active sentence, my complement, but in passive, it's my subject. Soccer, that's gonna be the first thing we will do. Then the verb to be. We don't have the verb to be here, but we have to add it in here because it has to be like that form. Then I told you, and this is what I want to explain a little bit. I told you that we will be talking about past participle verbs. This one. This is not the same as simple past. This is past participle. Look, the third step that you had to do was this one. Oh, we already have soccer. We already have the verb to be is. And this verb, it means this one, play, will be in past participle, no simple past, okay? Soccer is play. And now you can tell me, Mister, but I did that. Okay, that's fine. But we are going to discuss something very important, and please take notes and pay close attention to it. Okay, passive voice in simple present. When I say simple present, I mean this simple present. That we are going to be talking about passive voice only using is or are. Once again, we are going to be talking about passive voice in simple present. It means that we are going to use is and are. No will, no was, no were, no going to. Forget about that. We are going to be using only is and are. So this is one example or a similar example that I got from your book. This is active. It says the landfill is, this is the active one. People decorate the landfill. Okay, it's fine. That's active. I told you to convert, to transform the active sentence into passive. And some of you wrote the landfill is decorate. That's incorrect. Why? Because most of you only did this thing, only rewrote the verb, and that's not correct. Because one more time, the verb has to be in past participle. And in here, you have it in simple present. Yes, mister, but you are saying that we have to talk in simple present. Yes, but simple present of the verb is, not simple present of the verb decorate. So that's not the correct form. What is the correct form? The landfill is decorated. But now you have to be sure that decorated is past participle. Because I can say the landfill is decorated, and maybe I am thinking that this verb is simple past. And yes, it is simple past. But this verb in simple past is the same in past participle. Now look, if you notice this, these verbs, they have the same form in simple past and in past participle. Now imagine that I tell you, okay, let's write this sentence in passive voice, and I write, people gather like collect, people gather trash. Okay, I have my sentence in simple present. I am going to change the color of the highlighter. Here we are. Okay, I write, just for instance, people gather trash, okay? And I tell you, okay, guys, you have to convert this active sentence, people gather trash, into passive. What am I going to do? I am going to say trash is gather, because this is the base form. Is gather simple past? I have to use past participle. This is the one that I have to use. And some of you use this verb, but you can say, mister, but they are the same. If you notice, gather is the same in simple past and past participle. Yes, because there are verbs that they are the same in simple past and past participle. Mister, and how can I know when the verb is the same and where the verb is not the same? There you have to go to internet. I brought you this list of verbs that end in ed simple past. They are going to finish ed in past participle. Please take into consideration this, because later we're going to see other verbs that they don't finish in ed. But please take into consideration this stuff. If the verb in simple past ends in ed, the same verb in past participle is going to finish in the same way. Guess, simple past, guessed, past participle, ed. Helped, simple past, helped, past participle, the same. Hoped, simple past, hoped, past participle, the same. Okay, I already understood this, mister. If the verb in simple past ends in ed, the verb in past participle is going to finish in ed. The problem is when we write these verbs. That is another example, and we're talking about passive voice. But verbs have to be very important, and they have to be in the right tense. That is another example from the book of passive voice. People build a park. That's the active. I told you to transform this active sentence into a passive sentence. And some of you wrote the same. And I already said that that's not correct. People, okay, this is correct. The park is correct. But here, this verb, build, some of you wrote the same verb. That's not correct. That is simple present. This verb, that's not the verb, the right tense. And some of you did this. You added ed, but still incorrect. Why? Because now I already gave you the explanation that most of the verb, not all of the verb, most of the verb end in ed. But there are a lot of verbs that they don't end in ed. And if you add ed to that verb is not correct. For instance, build. Build is the present, is the simple present. Builded doesn't exist. Builded doesn't exist. And some of you wrote builded. So what's the correct form? Built. Built is the past participle of the verb. How can I know, mister, if the verb ends in ed or if the verb changes? Here we are. If you notice, this list of irregular verbs, they have changed completely in regards to the previous list. Now I have different forms of writing the verbs because I can say begin, began, and begun. So what is going to be the problem? The problem is going to be that if you think that we are using simple past, you are going to write this word in your passive voice sentence. And I already told you that I don't want to see simple past. I want to see past participle. In other words, when we are talking about a passive voice sentence, forget about these verbs. We are using these ones. These ones are the ones we are using. The verbs in past participle. Now, if you notice, I have the verb build here. This is present. Look, simple past, it is not builded. It is not builded. It's built. And there is a coincidence because some of the verbs in past, they have the same word in past participle, the same letters. Okay, so what I want to tell you right now is this. If the verb in passive voice, you are going to use past participle in the verb. Trash is gathered. Okay? I break the windows. If I tell you, okay, change this sentence, I break the windows, that's active. Now, transform it into passive. You are going to say, windows are broken. Windows are broke. No. Windows are broken. Yes, I read your lips, Natalie. Very good. Windows are broken. Very good, Natalie. That's what you have to do. You don't have to focus on the simple past. You have to focus on the past participle. So what I want to tell you is this. Some verbs, this is recommendations based on what I saw in the previous class. Some verbs do not end in ed. How can I know? You can go to internet. You can find verbs that end in ed, or you can write regular verbs, and you are going to find. Besides that, I brought you a list of verbs. So that's one of my recommendations. And the second recommendation is that please be sure that the verbs are placed in past participle rather than simple past. I don't want to see verbs in simple past when you are using a passive voice. I want to see verbs in past participle. And again, if the verb in simple past ends in ed, it is going to be the same in past participle. But if the verb doesn't finish in ed and simple past, the verb won't be the same in past participle. Sleep, slept, and slept. Sing, like your favorite singer, sing, sang, song. You see? Break, broke, broken. And we want to focus in the last verb, in the past participle verb. So be careful with that. That was based on the previous class. Now, this is this new class. So we are going to start class right now. I'm just kidding. Look, we have passive voice for processes. We are going to learn how to use passive voice when we are talking about processes. What do you mean, mister? I mean that when we describe the process about how to do something, we normally use imperatives. This is what you saw in grammar, imperatives. For example, when we are in our spelling class, stand up, sit down, pay attention, don't talk, drop the trash, open your notebook, open your book, speak English, don't speak Spanish, okay? Love Mr. Leo. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, look. So we have these examples. Add some sugar. I have the verb. If you notice, I don't have subject because that's one of the qualities of imperatives, that we don't add the subject. So I have add some sugar, watch this video, download and install the app, select a new player, introduce your password, etc., etc. What is the process, the grammatical structure of passive voice when we are using it instead of imperatives? This one, subject plus be plus verb. That 3 means verb past partial. Subject, verb to be, and verb at the end. For example, on your left, you're going to see with yellow the imperative. On your right, you're going to see with red the passive. Now let's do the process. Add some cream. Okay, remember that imperatives start with a verb. Don't forget that. Imperatives start with a verb. So listen, because this is what you are going to do in your notebook. Pay attention. What are you going to do? You're going to see the verb and you're going to see the complement in here. So like I told you in the previous class, the complement is going to be the first word in the passive voice. Some cream. Next step, I am going to add the verb to be. Second step. And the third step, I am going to add this verb in here. In simple present, in simple past, no. In past participle, ed. I already told you that verbs that end in ed in simple past, they end in the same way in past participle. Another example, peel 2 oranges. Let's see, peel 2 oranges. I have okay, I have here the verb and the complement. Now the same step. The complement in the imperative is going to be my subject in the passive. 2 oranges. Again, I don't have verb to be here, but it doesn't matter because I must add it. Now listen, this is a refresh. Why are and not is? Easy, because depends on this. If I have a plural noun, oranges, I'm talking about plural, more than one, I am going to add are. But if I'm talking about only one thing, I am going to use is, okay? And now the verb peel at the end in past participle form, no simple past, past participle form. And the last one. And I have the last one here. Pour your cereal into a bowl. I am going to do the same. Cereal. Oh, sorry. Cereal. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, pour some cereal into a bowl. So cereal is going to be the first word in my imperative. Then the verb to be is. Then again, the verb, that imperative, the verb is going to be found at the beginning. That verb, I am going to change it into past participle. And then the complement. This is what you are going to do. You have that instruction in your agenda number 6, I guess, right? So this is what you are going to do. This is my example, okay? You can decide if it can be cereal or your favorite dish. It doesn't matter. But I want you to describe the process, okay? So you are going to write the imperatives like I did here. This is imperatives. I am going to write them, the process of preparing my favorite dish, for example. So in my case, I said cereal. So I wrote this in imperative. Pour your cereal into the bowl, add some milk to your cereal, add some sugar at your taste, and if you want, add some toppings to the cereal. What you are going to do is this, what you see right now there. But also, you are going to write this thing, but yours, this is mine, this is my sentence. You are going to, if you're talking about your favorite food, how to prepare sandwich, whatever, okay? But it has to be about food. You are going to write it like this, and you are going to write it in passive too. We are going to do the process that I did right now in the previous slide. That's what you're going to do. For example, I'm going to help you with the first one. Pour your cereal into the bowl. So if I am doing my homework, I am going to say, some cereal is poured into the bowl. Then I am going to say, add some milk to your cereal. Okay, I already have the imperative. Now I have to change it into passive. Some milk is added to my cereal. That's what you're going to do. You can decide sandwich, you can decide, I don't know, eggs, breakfast, whatever you want, pizza, brownies, whatever you want, but it has to be in two ways. The imperative form, this is the imperative form, and the passive, using the same sentences, okay? So I am going to give you these 5 minutes for asking questions. Please, they have to be related to the topic. So if you have questions, ask them right now. Mhm. If you have questions, remember that we are using the chat for academic purposes, for questions related to the topic, questions related to the activity. We still have 5 minutes. So if you have questions, you can ask, no problem. We are 27 students right now, it's okay. And remember that the presentation is going to be sent to the WhatsApp group. Mr. Ulises is going to send it. But if you have questions right now, you can ask, no problem. Questions? I have no questions. Okay, very good. Who else? Me too, okay. Okay, me neither. Good, Sasso, good. On fire. Me neither. There you go. Okay, me too. Well, so if you don't have questions, guys, this is going to be everything for today. And I'm very happy to see you. I can see Navas, Jimena, Relajeño. I see her. Yes, hi. And please, De Leon, hi. And believe me, that is very important for us that you come to the class, okay, by using Zoom. And we always get happy when we see you. So next time, take a shower, turn the camera on, and then we are going to practice a little bit of English. I'm going to finish the presentation right now. If you have questions, you can ask Mr. Ulises, you can ask me, and I hope you the best. I hope you're doing well, and I wish you the best. Okay, guys, so bye-bye. I love you so much. Bye.